Are you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to the Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back to the Songwriter Show, right here on Reality Radio 101. I'm your humble host, Sarantos. I'm a solo music artist who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words are just the world to me, and that's why I love hosting this show for you every single Tuesday evening. I believe that every song is a story. Tonight, I'm so excited to have on the show Cali Tucker. She's the daughter of renowned recording artist LaCosta Tucker and niece of the famed Tanya Tucker. She hails, of course, from Nashville, Tennessee, and she's been hitting full throttle throughout her career. She gained national recognition on season 6 of The Voice after joining Team Blake and becoming a finalist. Since then, she's risen to prominence as a headlining act in Vegas, captivated audiences with her remarkable talent as a live performer.
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome to the show, Cali. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, yeah, it's probably been a whirlwind since The Voice, huh? Sounds like you've been very busy.
It has. That's to put it lightly. Once that show ended, it's like my life actually took off.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It was crazy.
I know sometimes between that and American Idol, people give those shows a bad rep. Do you guys get, like, I'm sure Blake was a cool guy, but do you get support after that? How does that work?
Well, unfortunately, no, you don't get support after the show, but that means nothing because I think it's such a fabulous platform for artists to be able to take and then take that next step into their career, but that's really up in their hands. And I knew that once the show ended, I realized, okay, nobody's knocking on my door. I've got to take this opportunity and capitalize on it and figure out what the next step is for me and use this as a tool. And it was a fabulous tool to use, especially when I made the decision to move to Las Vegas and start performing full time. People took me seriously and it was a recognizable show that people adorned and watched, and they loved being connected to something that they love already, even though they're not familiar with me. So it was a really good opportunity for me to do the show and then to take that opportunity and come out here in Vegas and make my career what it's become. So yeah, I mean, it's not that they don't care about you. It's just, it's a show. Yeah. So, they're there for the ratings, and the coaches are there for you at the time that you're there. And I mean, it was great. You just have to take it and use it for what it is.
Yeah, no, I get it. So tell us a little bit about your main instrument.
Yeah, that voice. It's pretty important. That's the main instrument. Although I will say I dabble in guitar and really, really looking forward to learning to play harmonica. That's my next instrument to tackle. Yeah, my voice is great because it's uniquely my own. No one else has it. It's pretty special.
I totally get it. And you know what? I empathize and understand, because if somebody breaks a guitar string, they just replace it. With our voices, that's it. You have to be gentle to it, and you can get fatigued. I mean, it's a real thing.
Oh,
yeah.
I perform about 6 nights a week here in Las Vegas, and I've been doing that for, 10 years. And when there was a point where I was performing 5 hours a night, 6 nights a week.
Wow.
And I actually, I cut back. Like I realized that was not a healthy schedule. So I max out at like 3 or 4 at this point, but it's a grueling routine and schedule. So yeah. Sleep is the most important thing. People are always like, what do you do? Drink honey? And do you, how do you keep your voice so healthy? And honestly, it's just a lot of hydration and a lot of sleep. And sleep is the main thing. And like having peace in your life. It's really difficult to balance, but and I live in Vegas, so it's very dry. So it's constant humidifier. But yeah, it's, you have to be really careful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're right, because everybody thinks, you party and you do all these things, but then you can't perform. And I heard a really interesting thing about Celine Dion about hydration, that she had at Caesars there the humidified air, and she had exactly what the humidity should be, and she had it built into that. because it's really
Hmm.
important as a singer.
Yeah, there's a lot of homes actually here, not mine, unfortunately, but there's a lot of homes that have built-in humidifiers within the home. And so it's constantly putting in the moisture throughout the day and the night for people, not just singers. I mean, it is so dry out here. When I go back to Nashville or when I'm, doing a show, like say in Portland or somewhere where it's, nice and moist, I literally sing like Celine Dion because
Yeah.
my voice is like, thank you. This is
Yeah.
amazing. But something else I do that is really helpful is IV therapy. IV therapy is when they do the hydration water basically into your veins and it just goes straight into your cells and replenishes all the dehydrated cells in your body. It's a quick fix, but it really does help when
Yeah.
you're hurting. But yeah, it's a constant struggle. And I don't party, I don't drink alcohol. So, I'm already in a desert dehydrated. Why would I dehydrate myself even more? I can't do it anymore. Like I knew if I was going to do this crazy schedule that I signed up for out here, I was like, there's no way
Yeah.
I can drink and do all that. But I actually don't miss drinking anymore. It was it was fun while it lasted, but those days are
Yeah,
over.
it's hard. Well, and I've heard some of your stuff. You have a phenomenal voice. So I would do anything I could to protect that voice too. So I get it.
Oh,
You're
thanks.
welcome.
Well, I try. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws in every department of my life, but I do my
Yeah.
best. I do my best. And I really love singing live. Like if that was taken away from me, I'd be a really unhappy person,
Yeah. I totally hear you. It's interesting. You say you're not perfect, but I think that's what authenticity is. And I can tell you in my journey, I went from auto tuning the shit out of everything, then realizing that sounds like shit, then realizing like there's this magic where you're trying to. And then the last thing for me about a year ago, I finally learned about people are like, oh, that's out of tune. And you're like, no, it's not. It's this key. Here's
Yeah.
what the chord is. And I finally figured out I've been taking songwriter lessons forever. And the last missing piece for me is realizing, well, if I'm singing there on a fifth or a third, well, maybe that's an 11th. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So realizing where you're clashing, even if what you're singing, that note is in pitch or to the key, it sounds like shit if it's like an 11th or some other variation that doesn't fit there. So I think
Yeah.
authenticity is not perfect. And I think that's fine. And sometimes you start on a note and slur it up or down and that's part of being authentic, and I think that's
Yeah.
missing a lot in modern music, I think, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I just think everybody's ear is so trained now to have perfection. Like if it's not perfect, they go, "What?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
this?" And you're right, it really is inauthentic. And I think we're all guilty of using a little autotune. And I'll tell you what, I hate recording. I don't like it. I've never had a good experience really in the studio until recently in these recent songs, but that I'm releasing. But I do not feel comfortable in the studio. And I don't ever feel like I give my best performance when I'm in the studio. I'm a live performer and there is something so magical about letting everyone in the audience see that I'm human and I'm going to miss notes and I'm not going to hit certain things and we laugh and we just carry on. I mean, they're, striving for perfection as a vocalist is always a goal of mine. It just is. I really like I like to be as pitch perfect as I possibly can, especially live. But it's like I almost have no control over it when I'm in the studio. It's so strange. It's such a hang up. And I don't know why. I think I have PTSD from like past situations in the studio where I was never made to feel comfortable and I was yelled at and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
just don't like it. But
Yeah.
performing live and putting on a fun show is more important than singing perfect. Will always be more important. Like I have to connect with the audience. We have to have a good time. Like they don't, I mean, once you've connected with the audience live, they don't care. I mean, I get towards the end of a night and my voice is tired.
Yeah.
It's tired. I've sang, I don't know, 100 songs at that point, and like they get it, and it's fun, and they know that I'm there for them, and I'm pushing it out, and I'm loving every second of it, even if I'm straining or if it's getting raspier or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird how everybody's different. How do you feel about it? Like, do you like being in the studio? Do you like
So
singing
it's
live?
interesting. I haven't performed live in a few years because I got tired of trying to look for a band and then they'd stand me up. And I did Toronto Music
Hmm.
Festival, and then 2 weeks before they were like, "Oh yeah, we don't have passports." And I was like, "I've been dealing with you guys for
Oh my
3 months,
God.
and I asked you that."
Stop it.
So I kind of, and then I'd hire session guys and I'd pay them to rehearse and do get. So I've tried to become better at everything, vocals, songwriting, the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
I'm itching the last year to get back out there. But when you're a solo artist, it's hard to find a good band and to do it. So I'm at the other extreme where I want to get back out there. I'm at the point in my life where I can start doing, some more regular gigs, but I cannot find people in Chicago to do this with me, and it's really frustrating, to be honest with you.
Well, if I can facilitate any connections, I will, because I understand that frustration more than you could ever know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I have worked with bands, some or I'm going to say musicians because I don't want to group them together. For the most part, I have not enjoyed a second working with any musicians, putting together a band, being their babysitter, making sure they're showing up on time. Do they know the material? Are they drunk? Do
Yeah.
you have good hygiene? Do you have an attitude? Is your having an opinion about something that doesn't relate? Like, the list goes on and on for the reasons that I have never enjoyed working with a band. So when you come to my Vegas shows, I'm soloed to tracks and I absolutely love it. The crowd loves it. There's no weird stigma of like, oh, she's doing karaoke, because it's absolutely not. I'm putting on this show as if there was a live band, and people could care
Yeah.
less that I'm not less talented because I don't have a band or an instrument behind me. I'm not. I'm in fact, I'm better. I'm more on point, because if the band messes up, it looks like I messed up.
Yeah.
And the band on these tracks, they never mess up. So therefore I never mess up.
Yeah.
And it's been a great tool. But moving forward, yeah, like I'm actually working with an awesome MD. His name is Mark Atkinson, and he is Wayne Newton's musical director. And he and I are putting the band together. And I'm so grateful, because when you have an MD and somebody that is leading the way for these musicians, I don't have to think.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about all the things that I was worrying about before, and I love that. I'm really looking for the first time, actually looking forward to working with a band. And
That's awesome. Good for you.
it is, but it really is a struggle. Not all of the musicians I've worked with have been like that, let me clarify. But for the most part, it's been not a fun experience at all. So I totally understand your struggle. And I'm gonna rack my brain of people in Chicago that I know that are worth.
Absolutely. Send it
Yeah,
my way. Yeah. And
I
yeah,
I
I would
will.
appreciate
I
it.
will.
So tell us
Yeah, for
about your
sure.
songwriting process. Do you have time when you're performing all the time? Do you still write? How does that work?
I find there is such magic when I actually get a moment to write and it flows through me. And that magic moment could be, maybe as something as simple as a hook, or, a bridge idea, or just, a line in the song, and I go, "Oh my gosh, this is so great. I can't wait to build on this." But recently my schedule's been up, well, I don't know. I don't say recently. For years now, my schedule has been insane. And finding that peace, and that because I write better alone, like initially, like I love to write my meat and potatoes alone, and then I bring it to my team and we dial it in together.
Sure.
That's where I find that it's the best for me. And I don't write with a guitar. I listen to different like beats or tracks that are like free and not being used, some on YouTube and stuff, just to get inspiration. And then I'll kind of go through my notes from months and months of different ideas that I have, and I'll go, "Ooh, this sounds like that song,"
Yeah.
and I'll start going in that direction. But I'm one of those I take a long time to write most of my songs. I've written a lot of songs and they've all been so bad, like most of them so bad, that it takes a very special song for me to like say, okay, this is worthy of releasing and putting money into, and marketing and things like that.
Listen, don't be hard on yourself. I think people that pretend that they wrote a song in 10 seconds and every
Yeah.
song, they're full of shit. I had like 4,000 songs. Yeah, I've written a ton of bad songs or things that don't get past the first draft. And it took me a long time to realize it's all about editing. And you could have the initial inspiration, then you got to edit the shit out of it to tweak everything that doesn't work. And it's part of the process. There's nothing wrong with that.
I definitely agree with you. Like, I used to have this, because I know a lot of like writers that write, like can write a song in 2 hours and it be like go platinum.
Yeah.
I know that. And maybe I just have to, my process is different, and I don't feel bad about it. It's who I am, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally okay with writing 3 songs a year if that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to pressure myself into writing a song if it's not in the cards. And yeah, I'm just the type of person that if I don't have total peace in my space, in my life, I can't do it. There's no way. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I can't just say, oh, I'm going to write a song today, because I used to do that. When I was in Nashville, we would do songwriting sessions every day when I was with a publisher I was signed with many, many, many years ago. And we'd have scheduled writes, and it would be great. I had a great time, and we wrote some really fun songs, and I enjoyed it. But I don't know, there was something inauthentic about it, walking into a room and not having a really clear vision of what at the time I didn't have a clear vision of what my sound was or who I was as an artist. I was teeter-tottering on it, but I kept getting shut down by other people, being like, oh, what I was thinking of doing. Obviously, I come from a country music background, hardcore country music. And I don't know, I just never fit into that mold. And I was okay with it, but everybody else wasn't. So I had a really hard time allowing myself in the space where let me just write. Let me just write about what I want to write. And if one of the songs works out that makes me feel really good, great. But it's like I had to get old enough and wise enough and not give a F enough to not listen to anybody and care about what anybody says or thinks and just do me. And I'm finally there, but it took me longer. Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard when the expectation is there for you to be something that you're just not. And man, that's a heavy burden to put on an artist, somebody that wants to do this but doesn't know how, and just wants some inkling of support in the vision that you have.
All right, Cali, I'll tell you what, let's take a listen to your song and we'll come back and talk a few more minutes, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, awesome, everybody. Check this out. Here we go.
They call me Boots Good and Barbie, hometown hottie. Got a taste for all the finer things. Did you know I was a beauty queen? Been living the high life, buying what I like. Turning on my dozen big high heels, but if it did, I get a real good deal. Hit on Levi jeans, they should put me in a magazine. Don't be jealous of my piece of style. I'm still the same as I was. Hands up in my pickup truck. Didn't really even cost them much. And even though I love my Christian Dior, deep down I'm country couture. I eat my breakfast at Tiffany's, but I don't spend a penny. Never said my love don't cost a thing, so don't propose without a diamond ring. Some say I'm a big deal on my high horse and high heels. Being bougie wasn't my intent, but I'll take it as a compliment, yeah. Hit on Levi jeans, they should put me in a magazine. Don't be jealous of my piece of style. I'm still the same as I was. Hands up in my pickup truck. Didn't really even cost that much. And even though I love my Christian Dior, deep down I'm country couture. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh, oh. Hey! When I drive a Bugatti, it's good for my body, but Rodeo ain't the rodeo. Been living the dream and all of my bling, but underneath, yeah, it's all just for show. Head down, Levi jeans, they should put me in a magazine. Don't be jealous of my piece of style. I'm still the same as I was. Hands up in my pickup truck. Didn't really even cost that much.
All right, Callie, thank you so much for that song. That was really cool.
Thank you. Glad you liked it.
So do you have anything new for the fans? Anything that you want to share with us that they should check out?
Well, I have not only released Country Couture, but I released the music video, and I'm super proud of it. It was literally the most fun I've ever had. And I've been saying it because I'm releasing three singles within the next year, and they all have music videos with them. And I think that was the most magical experience thus far. Because as a kid and wanting to visually create, not just, audible, but visually create something that expresses who you are, it's such a magical experience when it's done right. And people listen to you and they respect your vision and they see it through. It was unbelievable. I always said, like, at this point, if music just doesn't work out, my God, I want to be a creative director in music videos, because it was the best experience, and I'm really proud of it. I wore like 32 different outfits in this music video, and I don't think all of them actually made the cut, but we had 32 planned, and a lot of these dresses were some that I wore in pageants when I was like 15, some that I wore when I was in 8th grade, and then many that I wore that were my mother's vintage clothing that she would wear performing. So a lot of special moments. And I have the Chippendales dancers that are featured in the video, beautiful hot pink 1951 Chevy pickup truck in it.
That's awesome.
And then I pay homage to Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. It's such a fun, colorful video. It's meant to just bring a ton of joy to everybody. And yeah,
that's awesome, Callie. So tell us about your website. Where can people buy your stuff, stream it? Where can they hook up with you?
Pretty much everywhere. Obviously, my website is the fastest, easiest way to connect with me and where I'm at, where I'm playing, and the music that I'm putting out. That's CaliTucker.com, CALI, just like California. I've also got my social media, which is, Instagram, Callie Tucker Music, TikTok, Callie Tucker, and I'm on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, you name it. So iTunes, pretty easy to find.
That's awesome, Callie. I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this conversation. You're stellar.
Oh, thank you. I did too. And thank you to all the fans out there for spending a little bit of your precious time with the two of us. We both hope your unique story gets heard around the world too. My name is Sarantos. Please join us every single Tuesday night to hear other amazing artists share their fascinating behind-the-scenes stories right here at the Songwriter Show on Reality Radio 101. I love you all. Have a great night.
Oh, look what you've done to me.
Life began the day we met, we danced among the stars. A merry day it was, her laughter satisfied our needs. Till we hit an iceberg and we stopped being fun. Now we're two sad ships adrift alone on separate seas. She found a new compass, but I wonder, does he look like me, my love? Are you painting symphonies? Are you thinking of me, my love? I'm always around. I won't leave her alone, though she's left me. Truth is, I hate to see her happy without me. It's already been a year I stayed her, but she has closed the book. Though I keep rereading pages, I'm just not okay. Why doesn't she miss me yet? Her lovers come and go while I'm standing in her way. She found a new compass, but I wonder, does he look like me, my love? Are you painting symphonies? Are you thinking of me, my love? I'm always around. I won't leave her alone, though she's left me. Truth is, I hate to see her happy without me.
happy, happy without me.
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.